crafty friends, it's time for card number 3 in Full Deck Challenge 3. Today's prompt is yellow. Keeping to our overall theme of mini collage, I've collected all my little bits of yellow. Of course, I'm not going to use all of this, the plain card is really small. I just like to hoard. If you have only a few things, that will work too. I have my constant item, which is my postage stamp ready, and my carryover item from last week is this striped paper. It had orange in from last week and it has yellow in for today's prompt. So let's get started. I'm choosing a few of my favorite scraps and I'm going to just tear little bits and just see how I'm going to place those onto my card. This part is always a process of adding and removing and then moving around on your surface. And just keep adjusting until you're happy with how it all looks. Mini collage can take in any form. On my other ones, I've put pieces in all different directions. This one, from where I started with the way I was tearing the pieces, they were sort of going to be aligned across. There really are so many options. This is my piece carried over from last week. I'm going to squeeze that in somewhere. For this challenge, I don't actually ever have a plan before I start. The only thing I do know is my prompt. For example, in this one, it is yellow. And then the other 3 rules that I have put in, which is the number and the suit of the card should show somewhere. Use a constant item throughout the deck. For example, mine is the postage stamp, and carry an item over from the previous card. And the way this one worked out while I was working intuitively, as you can see, we've got strips of paper going across, all staggered, and I'm liking the way it looks. So this card may be pretty quick. I have that yellow pear die cut that I want to use as my focal point, which I think is pretty cute. I've now pulled out a few more of my yellow postage stamps just to see which one will suit my card the best. I'm trying each stamp, just moving it around and seeing which one will look best with this layout. I'm pretty happy with that, so I'm going to start gluing my pieces down. I'm using Mod Podge for mine. You can use craft glue. You can also even use glue stick depending on the type of card you're using. And as I was editing this video, I did notice that I actually covered up the spades on the top right underneath the 3. Oh wells, I may try and fix that going forward. As you can see, the postage stamp I'm using has got purple in it, which is a beautiful contrasting color with yellow. You don't have to only use the color of the prompt, you can add other colors too. It's all personal preference. I'm using that darker yellow mottled piece on the bottom right, and to create balance I'm putting a smaller piece sort of in the top half of the card too. I just felt it looked better having that other piece there too. I'm now trimming off the excess. For me, I prefer to stick everything down and then trim it to try and cut everything to the size you need. I don't always get it aligned. Sometimes it's too big, sometimes it's too small. This is quicker and easier for me. Just seeing where I'm going to put my little pear die cuts. And to make it stand out a little bit more, I am going to go around the yellow part with a black fine liner pen to give it some definition. To make the focal point pop more and to make it not so flat, I'm going to add something behind it. I'm going to use a piece of yellow thread. This is always a winner when you want to add dimension. This is just regular sewing thread. I just cut a piece and then scrumple it up and put it underneath my focal point. I'm going to attach all this down now with Mod Podge. Using the paper scrap that I have that's yellow with the black scribbles on it, I'm going to punch a few circles with my hole punch, and I'm going to place them scattered over some of the portions of my mini collage. And as luck would have it, the paper on the other side of the yellow scribble paper is actually purple. So there is purple in my postage stamp behind the little busy bee. So I'm going to also add 2 purple dots or circles, which will then balance out that purple in the bottom left. You can see immediately how that balances out the entire card. Going in again with my black fine liner pen, I'm going to go around these little circles. I want them to stand out a little bit more. You can join the full deck challenge at any time. This is deck 3. I have the playlists for deck 1 and 2 in the description box below. And if you're on Facebook, you can join my group. Just search Full Deck Challenge Group. Just a reminder, there is no full prompt list for this challenge. I will release the prompt at the beginning of each video, and I will also mention it in the preceding video. Using a cream colored marker now to add a little bit of highlight on my pear. And the prompt for next week is light green. Here is a close-up of my card. I really hope you enjoyed this week's video and were inspired to create your own and maybe even join my challenge. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the little bell so you're notified every time I upload new content. Thanks again for watching. Happy creating, and I'll see you again soon. Bye.